Hello and welcome back to Very Honest Shenanigans. This is Anime Showdown, where we break down all things anime.
Today, we're going to be talking about one of my personal favorite animes, Spy X Family.
A show where a spy, an assassin, and a telepath become a fake family. But it's super wholesome.
Wait, seriously?
Without further ado, let's get into Spy Family. The world is on the edge of war between two rival nations, Westalis and Astania. In order to prevent war, an elite spy, codenamed Twilight, is tasked with his most difficult mission yet.
Operation Strix. The goal of this mission? To get close to a political figure, Donovan Desmond.
But there's a problem. He only appears in public at the Eden Academy. In order to pull this off, Twilight must do something his spy training never taught him to do.
Start a family.
Supposed to have a kid in 7 days? Sorry.
Twilight takes on the identity of Loid Forger, a psychiatrist who seems perfectly normal. He quickly adopts Anya to start his fake family.
But here's a twist. Anya is a telepath. She reads Loid's mind and learns that he's a spy from day one.
Now needing a wife to complete the image of a complete family, Loid marries Yor Briar, a quiet City Hall employee who is secretly an assassin called the Thorn Princess.
Neither Loid nor Yor know each other's secret identities, but Anya does, and this leads to a ton of antics.
Now let's talk visuals, because Spy Family doesn't just show up with a great story, but amazing art as well.
The animation was a tag team effort between Witch Studio and Cloverworks, which already sounds like an amazing collab, and it was. They kept the quality high since episode 1.
Not only does the movement of the characters consistently improve, but the use of smear frames to exaggerate or add a comedic aspect to emotion adds more weight to the implied theme of the scene. Combine that with smooth transitions to other art styles, and you truly have something that you can't take your eyes off of.
Alright, Frank, that's enough.
Sorry. Now, pencils up, let's talk about character design.
Ain't no opposition getting rested while I roam. Boy, if you step into my city, it's the Twilight Zone, yeah. It's the Twilight Zone, yeah. It's the Twilight Zone.
Let's talk about Loid Forger's character design, because it's deceptively simple, but says so much with so few details. Right off the bat, Loid's look screams refined professionalism. His default outfit, a sharp, four-screen suit with a red tie, is classic spy attire. It gives him that timeless James Bond feel, but it's not overly flashy.
Spies are careful. We can't draw attention to ourselves.
The color choice is smart too, because green is a cool, composed color. It reinforces his personality as someone who is always calm under pressure, always calculated. And then there's his face, specifically his eyes and jawline. They're drawn in a very precise, symmetrical way. His eyes are often half-lidded or focused, which gives off this I've seen too much vibe, like he's always in mission mode. Even when he's pretending to be a loving father. Now check out his hairstyle. Neat, parted, perfectly styled. No stray hairs. That's not just anime aesthetics, it is character storytelling. Loid is a man who controls every variable. Even his hair is a mission.
I am a man of 1,000 faces. My very existence relies on being exactly who my target wants me to be.
What I also love is that his design is adaptable. When he's being Twilight, the elite spy, his expression sharpens, the lighting gets more dramatic, and even his posture changes. But when he's Loid Forger, the dad, his shoulders relax, his features soften just slightly, but he's still kind of too perfect. And that's the point. He's performing all of the time. Loid doesn't have any flashy accessories, or standout features like Anya's hair ornaments, or Yor's killer heels. Why? Because he blends in. He's the ultimate chameleon. His design reflects that, professional, polished, and unassuming. But we all know he could still kill someone with a dinner spoon. So yeah, Loid's design might look basic at first glance, but it is masterclass. Every part of it is calculated just like the man himself.
I can do this, yeah I can. Though I may not understand how to be enough to handle your big heart. Make your moves and I'll make mine. Picture perfect, so we try. Maybe I don't want to lie, it's changing me.
And what about you? You're awfully quiet over there, Yor. Doesn't it creep you out too?
So what I really like about your design is that she essentially has two different outfits in the anime. She has her housewife slash secretary outfit, and then she has the Thorn Princess outfit, which is, you know, she's going for the kill. She's looking like a little bit more serious. She's got the beautiful black gown, of course, accentuated with the two twin daggers, I like to call it. They're kind of like sticks. But they each represent one side of her personality, but it's very fun because, you know, with the housewife, you get more of her innocence. You still have the signature twin tails. You have the white band, as opposed to the gold that really accentuates the black in her assassin outfit. But red is also prominently her dress that she usually wears in day-to-day, and it really works for her because of her eyes as well, being the red color. And of course, with the white, symbolization of innocence, purity. But then you have, of course, the complete opposite, literally black, in her assassin outfit, because she's killed a lot of people. She's super strong, she's just very headstrong, and you can see that in her design. Especially like randomly in the animation world, it'll flex her muscles, and she'll be able to just like take people on. Again, but still holding those twin tails, because that's a symbol of like that innocence, that youth that she still has. Especially, again, good dichotomy, but still having that quality of innocence in the designs. It's just classic, good anime design. I really can't say much more about it.
We talked about Papa and Mama, now let's talk about everyone's favorite little cutie pie, Anya Forger.
Hey, look at me, Uggo, or are you scared? Huh?
Now her attitude may be a combination of both Loid and Yor, but her looks come from a completely different character. Ashe, a character from Rengoku no Ashe, one of Tatsuo Endo's one-shot mangas. He later used some of her features on Anya, those being Ashe's pink hair and signature horn accessories. But is that where the similarities end? Pretty much. For one thing, Anya is built using the typical little girl anime figure, except she's drawn with the shorter legs, something she's made fun of for in the show. Anya is drawn slightly smaller than her classmates at Eden Academy, and she's only 1 to 2 years younger than her fellow Cecilia Hall members. Now those features aren't what necessarily makes her a crowd favorite. That award goes to Anya's very expressive face. Even if you haven't watched Spy Family, you have definitely seen the many faces of Anya. For example, her face, her meh face, and definitely her face. They say the eyes are the windows of the soul. While with Anya, they're definitely great big green ones. There are a ton of examples of Anya's eyes portraying a vast range of emotion. Making her eyes and head bigger allows a character artist to exaggerate expression more. Not only that, it makes any outfit she's in look adorable. Okay, maybe not that one. Those features, in combination with the voice acting by Atsuma Tamazaki in the Japanese dub and Megan Shipman in the English dub, create a character you can't help but falling in love with. Try those crocodile eyes, Anya. When it comes to cute, you take the cake. Or, peanut.
But it's not just the characters that have fire designs, it's the backgrounds too.
One of the most striking things about Spy Family background art is how it blends realism with just enough fiction to create a believable, alternate history world. Estonia, the country where the story takes place, feels like a mashup of post-war Berlin, 1960s Europe, and Cold War tension. The architecture, the cars, even the furniture and city signage, everything feels lived in and era-specific, but it's not tied to any one real-world place. This slight ambiguity makes the setting feel immersive but flexible, like it belongs to its own world. The animators clearly did their homework on European aesthetics, but kept it just stylized enough to stay within the anime realm.
What really stands out in Spy X Family is how packed the background art is with tiny, thoughtful details. Street markets have era-appropriate posters, family homes have mismatched picture frames, and even Yor's kitchen has a slight outdated stove that fits her modest lifestyle. Nothing feels too modern and out of place. It all reinforces the time period and setting without ever needing to be pointed out. These little touches are what makes the world feel consistent and rich, even when the characters are doing something absurd like dodging bullets on a family vacation. The backgrounds never pull attention away, but they always elevate the scene.
The backgrounds also do a great job of emphasizing the duality in the story. You got cold, sterile hallways and spy headquarters and shadowy alleyways for assassin missions. Then you switch to warm, cozy interiors of the Forger home, or the sunny, polished classrooms of Eden Academy. The way these environments are shaded helps visually sell the secret lives everyone is living. It's subtle, but clever visual storytelling. The world constantly shifts tone depending on which role the characters are playing, and the backgrounds reflect it. It's not just pretty art, it's a functional atmosphere. The first opening for Spy Family, Mixed Nuts, is energetic, jazzy, and slightly chaotic, in the best way. The song itself feels like a circus act about to unravel, which perfectly mirrors the Forger family dynamic. Everyone's hiding secrets, but trying to hold things together. The visuals lean into this duality with sharp, vibrant, and dynamic animation. One second you're in a spy chase, and the next you're watching Anya draw with crayons. The transitions are quick and clever, with playful match cuts that mirror the song's bouncy rhythm. It's the ideal tone setting for Season 1. Stylish, fast-paced, and full of personality.
The ending for Season 1 comedy is mellow, jazzy, and warm. It almost feels like a lullaby. Gen Hoshino's smooth vocals paired with soft instrumentals create a cozy, introspective mood. Visually, the ending is centered on Anya's experience, with watercolor-style background and dreamy, glowing lighting. It's a quiet moment of calm that captures her feelings of love, safety, and hope. The visuals show her interacting with Loid and Yor in everyday life, moments of stillness that contrast the chaos of the main story. It's not flashy, but emotionally rich and beautifully understated. Souvenir by Bump of Chicken ushers in the second half of Season 1 with a heartfelt, reflective energy. Still warm and melodic, yet infused with understated momentum. The music strikes a delicate balance between nostalgia and hope. It feels like a musical diary, a collection of small gifts that quietly assemble into something meaningful. Visually, the opening slows the narrative tempo. Rather than quick-fire spy sequences, we see cinematic shots like Loid, Yor, Anya, and Bond strolling through a park, Anya playing with bubbles, and even the Forgers spending time together in an amusement park. The animation gives the sequence a poetic quality, each frame deliberately composed, letting the moments breathe. The visuals and music together shift the story's focus. These aren't just covert operations anymore, but quiet scenes of togetherness. The colors are warmer, the motion gentler, underscoring the growth of familiar bonds. Thematically, Souvenir mirrors the hidden lives and emotional journey of each member of the Forger family. Loid's solitary life as a spy, Yor's double life as an assassin, and Anya's secret as a telepath. All three start in isolation, carrying burdens they can't share. But through the song's gentle rise and the visual's quiet intimacy, we see how these individuals' paths start to intertwine. Souvenir isn't about the secret identities each family member holds, but the connections they are forming. It captures how this patchwork family, built on a bed of lies, is slowly becoming something real, bound by understanding, trust, and love.
Just as Souvenir ushers in the second half of Spy Family Season 1 with a reflective energy, Shikisai by Yama, the ending theme for the second core, offers a contrasting yet complementary perspective on the Forger family. While Souvenir emphasizes the growth of familial bonds through warm colors and gentle animation of shared moments, Shikisai visually depicts the characters' initial solitary existences before the light of the Forger family shines upon them. The ending sequence poignantly illustrates Loid, Yor, and Anya in their isolated routines, only for a metaphorical light, representing their connection as a family, to shine from an open door. This visual narrative, being painted by the animators, underscores the central theme that this seemingly fake family is precisely what each individual desperately needed to emerge from their respective shadows. Coupled with lyrics that hint at vulnerability and a yearning for connection, this ending highlights that while their lives began in isolation, it is within this fake family that they find a crucial, perhaps unexpected source of solace and purpose. Both songs, however, connect to the overarching narrative of genuine relationships blossoming from a foundation of deception, with Souvenir showcasing the warmth of these bonds, and Shikisai revealing the transformative power that they hold for each member.
As we dive into Kura Kura by Ado, the opening theme for Season 2 Spy Family, we're immediately struck by its vibrant and almost dizzying energy, perfectly mirroring the Forger's chaotic yet charming existence. The visuals burst forth with highly stylized animation and shifting patterns, quickly introducing Loid, Yor, Anna, and Bond through dynamic, almost choreographed movements. The depiction of their everyday life is far from serene. Even a simple car ride is portrayed with a sense of frantic energy, reflecting the underlying tension and the constant juggling of the secret identities. This chaotic driving scene, filled with rapid turns and expressive character reactions, directly contrasts with the more grounded moments of them at home, highlighting the unpredictable nature of their dual lives. This visual tension, the blend of mundane scenarios with underlying chaos, fantastical elements like whimsical flights along with airplanes, underscores the central theme of hidden truths and the intricate balance of dual lives. The rap rapid-fire transitions and overlapping visual elements like the fury of a speech bubbles surrounding Anya and Bond externalize the consistent internal flux and unspoken secrets within the family. Despite this visual busyness, there's a surprising rhythm and synchronicity in the characters' movements, particularly during their synchronized dance sequences, suggesting a growing harmony amidst their deception. Ultimately, the upbeat tempo and dynamic visuals serve not just as an introduction, but as a direct window to the Forger family's unique world, where secret identities and intricate plots are not just accepted, but beautifully interwoven into the enduring facade of everyday life.
Ending 3, Todome no Ichigeki by Vaondi, she featuring Cory Wong, is an upbeat, funk-infused bass track that is a fresh and energetic close of each episode. Vaondi's smooth vocals paired with Cory Wong's signature groovy guitar lines give the song a playful yet stylish vibe, perfectly capturing the chaos and charm of the Forger family. Visually, the ending is packed with dynamic shots of the family's daily life. Anya dancing around, Yours moving with elegance, and Loid maintaining his cool composure. The animation uses bright colors and fluid transitions, matching the rhythm of the music with clean, well-timed cuts. It's fast-paced, fun, but it's also warm, emphasizing the light-hearted side of the story. Thematically, it ties in beautifully with the show's message that beneath all the secrets and lies, the fake family is starting to feel very real. It's a standout ending that combines great music, slick visuals, and an emotional resonance in a way that feels effortless.
Alright, now that we're done talking about the show, we're going to move into some personal questions. So, first one is, who is your favorite character and why?
So my favorite character has to be Frankie, the lovable uncle. Everyone loves this guy. He's one of my favorite characters. Not only do I share a similar name with Frankie, but his character is also pretty interesting. Something that I don't see a ton of, at least in the shows I've watched. Frankie is in a unique position where not only is he a playful companion for Anya, and a good friend to Loid, Forger, but he's also a great friend to Twilight. He allows Twilight to breathe a little bit because he's in the same business as him. See, a lot of times, a character who's playing a double life doesn't have somebody they can be themselves with, and Frankie kind of gives Twilight that little experience where he can be a little more human, a little more himself. And he provides it. Also, Frankie's antics are pretty funny. He makes up really fun gadgets, something I can relate to. Except his are definitely better made. So yeah, pretty much those are reasons why Frankie's my favorite character.
No, I love that. Frankie is definitely tied for my favorite. All of the reasons Frank listed, plus another thing that I really like is I'm always kind of a fan of like the normal dude in like any type of like anime or things like that. Like
What's
you
the guy in
have
the back?
Twilight, like the best spy who's ever been. You have
you're the best assassin who ever lived. Right, and
then you got
Anya,
Frank-
who's special, and then there's just Frankie. He's just there. He's like, hey, it was all love. I'm
He's
the
a
strongest
dude.
in this universe. I'm Frankie, man.
Yeah, he's just a dude. He is very intelligent, again, making the gadgets and things like. But like, he's kind of the straight man, because even like watching Yours antics and like watching Loid, he's just like, am I in the right anime? Like,
Am I supposed to be
Am I in the
here?
right spot? Is this real?
But that's why many things, same reasons why Frank said, especially like you said, you need that comedy to like kind of ground the wholesome moments and kind of like the action, and Frankie really brings a lot of that. I also really like Yor, just because I love that no matter the juxtaposition of whether she's playing the housewife or she's playing the assassin, there's that twinge of innocence, and like she's subconscious about her cooking. She's subconscious about all these other little things that you would think, like, why would an assassin care about these things? But that's where the innocence comes in, where she's thinking, you like, I'm still a woman. Like, I may be like
She has a
the best
lot of
assassin.
relatable
I may be-
characteristics for an unrelatable
Exactly.
character.
Yeah, exactly. What do you mean? I mean, yeah, no, I'm not a murderer for hire.
Matt, you're anything for hire at this point.
Hire me, give me money.
Give him about 350, he'll do anything.
There you go.
That's not true.
But that's what I really love about Yor. Plus, a great counteractive to like, Loid's really good at his job, but of course, because he's so jaded and he's had to play so many different characters, there's kind of only a few moments, like Frank was saying, like he drops his guard around with Frankie, and maybe a little bit with Anya, because you know he has no idea she's reading his every thoughts. But like,
There's also
you know, you have this guy.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say.
No, go ahead.
There's very slight times when he does drop his guard with Yor. You see that more in like the latter half of season 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say he is starting to get used to Yor, because you know he's starting to get feelings. Yor's starting to get feelings.
Yeah.
They love each other.
It's like they're a family.
Oh my god.
Some sort of spy family. He said
I know, he
it.
said the thing.
He
He
said
said the thing. No, but I definitely agree with you guys. Frank is definitely up there with one of my favorite characters. I mean, who doesn't love Frankie? If you don't love Frankie, these
Not
hands are ready
playing.
for you. Yeah, these hands are ready for you, man. You're a great character though. But honestly, my favorite character it's got to be Anya, all the way. She's literally the insight to the minds of all of the characters around her. You know, we get to hear more of like Loid's thought. It's literally the exposition of being able to hear what the anime protagonist is thinking in a moment through a character who's reacting to what this person is thinking. Right? It's just a great way of like giving us this insight without it just being like, oh, I can listen into all of these characters' minds. Right? Plus, I mean, have you seen the faces that she makes? There's so many memes. So many memes.
I mentioned
So many
that in my art breakdown of Anya. She has such an expressive face. So yeah, I love that about her.
Like right now, we're gonna put up a half face from Anya right here.
There's also the meh face, which is slightly different.
Slightly different. It's gonna be on this side.
But yeah, the range
give
of
it
like
too.
super excited one too. So
So
some-
that's gonna be up there.
Plus, like you were saying, with the telepathy being a good insight, going back to like Lloyd's character and how I was talking about him, he's literally stoic the entire time. Like if we didn't have Anya's narration of his inner thoughts, it would just be a lot of silence with the occasional him like, "Hey, we should go to the zoo." Or like, "Hey, what if we went to Eden? Like, what if we got you in there?"
What's also interesting about Anya's
What if you went in there?
What's also
What if you
interesting
did a
about
thing?
What's also interesting about Anya's abilities, a lot of anime always has like the characters speaking their thoughts, you know, in like that echoey setting and the reverb setting. But with Anya, you can almost excuse that that's happening because she's reading the minds of everybody. Like,
Right.
It does,
Exactly.
like, there is a clear difference when she's reading the mind and not reading the mind. But there is, like, you could say that's what it is because Anya's power just makes so much sense for it, and it's used a ton of the time in the show to do as such.
Yep.
I mean, and even though like she knows exactly what Twilight's mission is, and the fact that she's going around and doing her best to try to help, it's just great. Like, God, this is so wholesome.
There's so
She's
many
a lovable idiot.
There are so many episodes in season 1 where she's actively trying to help her father's mission and save his life. Well, I say about Loid. Like in the episode, the start of the second run for season 1, she like helped disarm or warn him about a bomb that saved his life.
Yeah,
thanks
the bomb
for
that
the
saved his
help of
life.
Bond, who has a similar power. You can see
I don't remember what episode it is, but the one where they're in like the aquarium and the guy's like running away.
That's the last episode of the
from
first
Loid.
one.
It is. That's what I thought. And she grabs onto the guy's coat and goes, "This guy's kidnapping me!"
Oh, Mom, I'm being kidnapped, and you're just absolutely messing. Boom.
Exactly.
She knows.
Guys, this is getting pretty close to our next topic.
I know, which is why we're gonna go over to our next question: is what was your favorite moment in the show, and why?
Interesting. That's actually very tough because this is definitely one of my favorite animes. So picking my favorite moment's not very easy. I would have to say it's a part of the show where Yor finally cooks a meal that Anya and Loid can eat. Just
It's finally edible.
there's so many moments with Yor I can point to for like a great scene, but it's just above everything else, like this is underlining message that Yor's actively trying to be a good mother figure, and then, trying to
like,
get the responsibilities or the duties of a housewife and a mother. But she also like herself is trying to develop and change and everything. And at that moment, we get to see Yor's hard work actively. Yor's hard work gives a great result, and she's so happy. She like kind of breaks down a little bit because she's so Like, I think everyone can kind of relate to that a little bit, in a sense of like you're actively working on learning something or kind of complete a task, and you finally do it, and it ends up being great when you expected it to fail immediately. Especially because I started learning how to cook, so I identify with you a little more.
Right.
No.
Oh no! I accidentally made a pizza.
Bring it back.
God damn it!
On our mugs.
Buy the mug. Buy the mug.
Oh my gosh.
That's something mine.
But Frank, I agree, especially a lot of your scenes. I have two in my mind that stick out to me. The entire arc, just getting Bond, really solidified like how amazing the show was gonna be. Because obviously, like her getting into eating was a really good show of like the dynamic. But when you finally get Bond into the mix, you're like, oh, yep. I was like, this is the family unit, especially a dog that can like see the
Yes,
future.
Bond dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in frame, but I have one right behind me. No, he's not in frame. There he is. He's right there.
Love that good boy.
Good boy.
Especially whenever Anya sees one of his future visions for the first time, the face that she makes, I'm like, oh god. Her mind is slowly piecing together that this hasn't happened yet.
One of my favorite ones is, am I gonna pass the test? We're having hamburger steak tonight! Because that's what's on Bond's mind too.
Yep. And then, of course, the other one, this one's more fairly recent, I believe, in the anime. Because, again, I've read the manga as well, so sometimes I conflate things. But I did talk with Matt, and he said, yeah, this was in the anime. I just needed to rewatch it again. When they're on the cruise.
Yes.
And, of course, she starts fighting that guy randomly. Because, you know, life or death situation with assassins. But Anya's like, oh, gosh, I gotta help her. He's like, look at the circus performers. They're so cool. They're doing such a great job.
That plays so much on his character, too. Again, like, trying to help, like, keep the family together.
Yep. Keep the family together. Not get you're arrested in international waters.
Yeah, exactly.
Just help her, like...
Is Mama gonna get arrested? Oh no!
Bond dog, is Mama gonna get arrested? Yes? Oh no!
No, no!
Bond dog, is she gonna get arrested? This isn't the time for a Hamburg steak!
Oh man.
But yeah, especially because, like you said, I just always love when, like, just insert any moment where Anya helps her parents in one shape or another, because, you know, she has the audiences on it. She knows spy, assassin, but sometimes even they kind of overlook their jobs and, like, they go full ham, so it's like, gotta protect them from the public.
She's basically the PR manager.
Now, Mr. Twilight, what was that you were doing on the roof the other day?
Papa was cleaning the gutters.
But there was a bag that looked like a body. The leaves make weird shapes.
You don't.
All right, thank you, public relations, Anya.
Anya would 100% be a perfect spokesman for the mob. Anyway, Matt, what's your favorite scene?
I keep thinking about this, and I don't know why. The one where he kills the mosquito in the interview always kept coming to mind. Because it's, first of all, it's great visually, it's a great scene. And then, secondly, it kind of like, it kind of shows that, like, he kind of cares. You know, he even says in his own internal monologue, he's like, why am I doing this? Like, just sit here, Twilight, don't react, don't do anything, this is better for the mission. But he does it anyway. So it's this first moment of him starting to show that he cares about Anya and this family that he's making, even though he doesn't really want to, right? He's like, it's mission first, but also, shut the fuck up. You made her cry.
We see our boy going from incel to simp, and that's beautiful.
Oh my
Jesus.
God. I would prefer, from unattached to father, but okay, Rob, whatever you want to say.
Frank, we're trying to get to the youths. I'm speaking their language.
I don't think you're speaking their language. I think you're trying too hard there, buddy.
Yo, he went from like Rizzler to Gut Lord.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
all right. That's it for this anime showdown.
Moving on. Next question, guys. Who would survive the longest hiding a secret or
Matt.
true identity inside
Matt.
of Ariana Shenanigans? I didn't even finish the
Matt,
question.
Matt, 100%. No, I don't even know I need to know the rest of the question. It's definitely you. 100%.
Matt, the only reason why I would still even be in the running for like keeping a secret is it depends. Like if it's about my identity, yes, I'll keep it, but it might accidentally slip in like a live stream.
I was gonna
that's what I'm
say, is it because of your camera? Because you keep cutting out.
Exactly.
Your secret identity of the Flash has already been released to the public. No, I also wrote probably me because I know both of you well enough. I don't think either of you could keep a secret for your life.
No.
I could do it. Again, it depends what it is.
You would
First thing-
accidentally let it slip. You
No.
would be like, oh, I'm never gonna tell anyone anything. You're gonna say that part out loud, and someone's gonna go, oh, tell anyone what? And then you're gonna say what the secret is, and they go, fuck.
I'm
catch me
gonna
up,
have
like-
that scene from Krusty the Clown in The Simpsons where he goes, I said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud.
But if it is important enough, I will keep the secret because like there's some secrets I'm just gonna die with, and thank God I have to die with them. But again, if it's something about me, I don't care about me. You can know I'm the Flash.
Yeah,
I
okay,
mean,
okay. See, I'm good at keeping other people's secrets. My own secrets, eh.
There you go, Frank. That's exactly because like I don't give a fuck what you know about me. I don't give a fuck
Just like Rod's secret cut.
and like Matt's.
I don't have any secrets. I'm an open book. What do you mean? No
Matt,
secrets here.
You're that book from Harry Potter where you have to stroke the spine to calm it down, and then maybe you can open a couple pages.
I just imagine one of us petting Matt's back, just like, okay, calm down, buddy.
Get away from me! No! Remind me not to come over to your houses again.
Don't worry, Matt. Here's your emotional support cocktail. Just let it out, buddy.
In the notes for this, because I did write down some of my answers to these questions. To the question, who would survive the longest hiding their true identity in Spy Family? And when I put Matt, I put down, have you played COD with him?
Just because you're not good at the game doesn't mean you're not that good at keeping secrets.
Well, you know the
okay?
citizens around Spy Family.
Yeah, right.
They're like literally oblivious. As soon as Anya says something, they're like, okay, I believe it.
See, I know. I would like to think that I'd be able to have like a secret identity as a superhero, but part of me also really loved in the original Iron Man when he just straight up at the end says, "I'm Iron Man." I was like, baller move. I'd do the same thing.
See, I would
And
kind
Bryce
of do that
accomplished
too because like I want the target at least to be on my back, no one else's.
Yeah, but see, the other thing, because like now we're going to superhero tropes, I would be worried about my family, so that would be the only thing maybe keeping me
True.
from revealing like my true identity. Because
Yeah.
literally, once every single comic I've read, where once they figure out it's Peter Parker, they immediately go after Aunt May, and they immediately.
Oh, it was like
this is what you
hands-on
do,
stuff.
right? This is how you get out of that trope, right? You go. I'm Matt. I am truly Batman. I hate my family, and boom, they're not
But
gonna
you
go
know-
out of your family anymore.
They will.
They
That's
still will.
that's happened in
But
Spider-Man
we
too.
will
I
dive
know.
deeper into this over on the comic corner when we talk about
Comic
superheroes.
corner. All
Yeah,
right.
if you ever want me to talk about superheroes, I'm more than happy to. Our first episode for that's going to be something completely different, though. So be prepared for that.
Prepared for that. All right. We got two last things here to do for this personal segment. Would you recommend this anime to someone who doesn't typically watch anime?
Frank?
I would definitely would. It's definitely one of those like cute animes, very wholesome. It's an easier one to get involved in the world with because it's not a super overly complicated story and has a lot of cute and funny moments in it, as well as some cool action scenes. It's got a little bit of piece for both. For any
Yeah,
like, sort of, like,
I
anime
agree.
show fan.
I agree. I would definitely recommend this to someone who doesn't typically watch anime or someone who's looking to get into it for the first time. The story is pretty easy to follow. You know, saving the world, all that stuff. So it has that action in it that you would usually get into like some kind of action film. You know, you get
Especially
all these
with
different
season
types of genres, and you don't get any horny bitches in there. All right. No, there's nothing weird going on in this one, so it's nice and super simple. Nice.
I don't know, dude. Yours, brother?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say him or what was her name? The other spy, the girl spy.
Oh yeah. Insert spy name here.
I think it's Midnight. Or
Midnight.
something
It is
like
Midnight.
that.
Yeah, it's
I
Midnight.
think that's what I was like. It's Twilight
Yeah,
is
Midnight. Okay, but you know what? I'll say those are even way tamer compared to some anime I've seen, specifically
Exactly,
like Food Wars.
exactly.
I'm telling you.
We're doing an anime showdown on that, by the way.
Awesome.
Okay, one thing I do want to bring up that these two haven't yet that is a good reason to recommend. Even like a slice of life anime or anything about like regular Japanese life, you will have to like learn about like Japanese customs and Japanese way of life, like how the high schools are, why they do certain things, why they like go to karaoke afterwards, and why they like. There's culture aspects that you just eventually just absorb watching a lot of anime. But since this isn't a fictional country that's based on a Western country, you kind of already just like already know like the cultural norms and like
Yeah.
coffee.
That's
or
a good
pizza, there's
point.
things like,
That is a good point
Yeah,
because
of
it
course
is.
you'd bring up pizza.
I love the pizza.
That is a good point because it is playing on the Cold War itself. So, and Cold War typically is between like Western countries like the U.S. and U.K. versus like Eastern like Russia. So it's not it's even though those aren't specifically all 100% accurate to those, they still have a lot of aspects from Western culture. So yeah, for someone from the West, it's definitely a good.
It's a really
reason.
approachable. Not to mention, there are some anime tropes in this, but like it's not any that would like need a lot of explanation. Like it's just tropes that you'll see it and you're like, I get it.
Everything is very fitting to the scene.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't overly do anything for any particular reason.
No, and that's why I would definitely recommend this, especially if someone's like, oh, like I like spy movies, I like the spy genre. And anime-wise, I'm like Spy Family.
It's a good anime.
I literally have done the same thing because I had my friend and my friend was like, yeah, I haven't really watched many animes and I watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I was like, alright, cool. What kind of movies and things do you like to watch? And he's like, I like spy films. I was like, perfect. Here you go.
I saw Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and brother, I would give an arm and a leg to find another great anime.
To what?
Catch us another time when we talk about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
We just gave the show a score out of 10 peanuts, and we will get a very honest score by taking the average. So guys, what did you think?
Well, let me tell you, Frank. I have seen a lot of anime. And so it really is tough for me, especially because I've seen so much, to get like a really, really high score. This does get a high score, at least in my opinion. I'm giving it 8 out of 10 peanuts because there are some things that could be worked on a little bit pacing-wise and overarching story-wise. Don't get me wrong, I do love an episodic anime, especially like little tiny arcs in between. But the whole overarching story, I feel like that could have either already been done and then we go into another one, or, maybe it is building up really, really good, and it's a very slow burn. But so far from what we have from the manga and the anime, 8 out of 10. Again, the characters are wonderful, everything's fantastic, but I feel like it just needs a little bit more of a push for the main story.
I see. See, me personally, I'm giving it 10 out of 10 peanuts. This has been and still is within my top 3 shows of all time that I've ever watched. It's just super wholesome, and it's very, very, very different from any of the other shows that are like in my top 10. So the fact that it really, really is something special to me, especially since this was the first show I believe that me and Frank have watched together.
Frank and I.
Shut up. I'm pretty sure this is the first one that me and Frank sat down. Frank and I, you bitch. Frank and I sat down with the show and like spent time and watched it. Yep. I did cheat on him and I watched the second season without him, but you don't need to know that. But yes, definitely 10 out of 10.
Now, I agree with both of y'all. Personally, for me, this is my favorite anime that I've seen thus far. So I really wanted to give it a 10 out of 10. However, upon my rewatch, there was one thing that was really stopping it from being a 10 out of 10. And that was I think it was the break between season 1's first run and season 1's second run, where there's a little change of Loid's character that kind of threw me off the first time I saw it. I'm not sure what it was. He was a little more cheeky than he should have been, I think would be the word. But that was my opinion. Not only that, I could definitely see Rod's point of the pacing. Like, there's definitely things that could have been done a lot quicker. But also, I like that it's not yet complete because it gives so much time and air for a lot of fun antics between the family and with Anya. There's also a lot to be said about Anya's fun antics at school with like her best friend Becky, and then her, I guess, sort of friend slash rival Damien, who's also the boss of of Twilight's Target.
Yeah, the son of the
The son of the guy, the
son of Twilight's Target. So there's a lot you can play within there, and also Twilight does say throughout that even though he's on a time schedule, this is something that can't be rushed. So having that kind of excuse, quote unquote, to let the show keep going longer does kind of work. However, if it over exceeds the time limit, I would say, then I would have to like really knock down the score. But from everything we talked about previous to now, I get this show a solid 9 peanuts out of 10.
True. And to your point, Frank, I will admit it's just me being a jaded anime fan because I've seen a lot of great shows that milked their premise too much.
Yeah.
Like this will be my controversial anime hot take, and don't worry if like Bleach should have ended after they got Aizen.
Ooh, I don't know.
That would have been the perfect. That would have been the perfect ending, in my opinion. We didn't need the 1,000-year blood of war. We didn't need all of that.
No, you mean we definitely needed it.
Listen, I will say, at least when Yor fights somebody, it doesn't take half a season like some Dragon Ball fights. Okay? Namek? Really?
All right, guys. With those scores in, this is our very honest score. All right, that's all for today's Anime Showdown. Comment down below your thoughts on Spy Family.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified when we post.
We have more Anime Showdowns coming your way. Next time we talk about Food Wars.
Later!
Bye.
Jenny!
Hey there, Honest Fam. If you enjoyed the chaos and fun today, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more wild adventures.
Remember, if you let us shenan once, we'll shenan again. So stick around for more last and unexpected twists.
Got any ideas for our next shenanigan? Drop them in the comments below. Until next time, keep it honest and keep it fun.
Goodbye.